Hi all, welcome back. In this video, I am going to explain how we can reorder the columns or rows of a table that is made by PrimeNG in an Angular application. So for that, I have already done a basic PrimeNG table with ID, product name and price and also displaying some data. So for that, what I have done is I just created a field and header, that is array of objects of fields and header, and I'm just passing that to the table, and which also rendering the header and also rendering the value of the each row, okay, value of the each fields, and it is dynamically rendering the columns actually. So once this table has been done, let's see how we can implement the reordering. First, we'll look on the column reordering. For column reordering or the row reordering, you have to add a property called reorderable columns as true. So I'm just adding a property called reorderable columns as true, and for each heading, you have to give a parameter called p reorderable column. So if you give this parameter, your icon will change to a draggable icon and you can also drag different columns. Okay, if we're not giving this p reorderable column to any of the column, that means that column itself is not draggable. I can show you. So here you can see the icon has been changed to a draggable icon here. So now let's get change this. Let's drag this ID to the second column. So if you drag this ID to the second column, first it will appear an icon, a right and up icon. That is the ID column icon itself. So if you want to drag something to the next column, you have to drag to the end of the column. See, this is the end of the column of the product name. Then you have to drop there, then only it will work, otherwise it won't work. So initially it will be little confusing why this column draggable is not working. I can show you with an example. So here I'm just adding a border as 1px, so you can see the product name column ends here, ID column ends here, and the price column ends here. So if you want to drag a column to another column, you have to drop that column at the end of the column. So if I want to drop this product name to the ID place, you have to take the product name and drop at the end of the column of the ID. So you can see here ID and product name is exchanged. Similar way I can drop here at the end of the price. Sorry, wait for it and drop. Okay, so this is how this column works. Next is row reordering. For row reordering, you have to give two things. One is for the TR, you have to give p reorderable row equal to index. For giving index, you have to give here in the ng template body, you have to assign the row index to a variable called index, and that index you can assign here, okay, to the p reorderable row. And after that, which when you hover on which data, when you hover on ID data or product name data or price data, you want to see that drag icon. For that row, that column alone, you have to give p reorderable row handle. Now I am giving for every row. If you want to give a row for or icon for that, you can give an extra td here and extra th on the header section as well. That is up to you. Now I am giving the p reorderable row handle for every column. Okay, that means, so once you have done these steps, the index and this row handle, and this index is taken from let index row index of the body. Okay, then you can see once you hover on ID, the icon is draggable. Once you hover on the product name, icon is draggable and price also draggable. So if you hover on any place or if you drag on any place and move it to any other place, it will work. So if you want to drag ID to some other place, it will work. If you drag price to any other place, it will work. Okay. So this is how it will works. So this is how we can order columns and rows. The next thing is like this reordering has two events. So if you want to do some functionality on column reordering and if you want to some functionality on row reordering, you have two events in PrimeNG table. So I'm just copying that one here. One is on column reorder. If you want to do some functionality, you can write your own function and it will accept an event. Same way on row reorder, if you want to do some functionality, there will be a function you can write that will accept a parameter. Once you have done, I'm just in the component.ts, I'm just adding our own function with event as any. So you can change that to the appropriate one, and also I'm just logging which are the fields I am receiving once we order the columns and once we reorder the row. Okay, so let's get into the demo part. So if you reorder the column to another place, see, now what I done is I have drag index, means from which position to which position I have dragged or reorder. And now what is the status of the current column? So first ID, then price, then title. Okay, you can use this if you want to do something else with this data. Okay, the same way for row reordering, I have changed the fourth position data to the seventh position. So row will return the 4 and 7, and the column reorder will return which columns we have changed and what is the drag index and drop index.